Welcome, everybody, to the Boardroom Podcast, brought to you by SPEAKHYVE, where we interview extraordinary business owners that have extraordinary stories. And today we have Jaida Steele with us. Jaida, could you let them know a little bit about yourself?
Most definitely. So I am a professional speaker, but I also work in workforce development. But hey, look, what everybody else says is Jaida, the career coach. Essentially, I pretty much help people that are between the ages of 24 and 32 get six-figure careers. I don't even want to talk about anything that's not 100K or up. So That's what I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
So what made you do that? What was the turning point in your life that made you decide that this is your life's mission or your goal, to help underprivileged, underpaid people?
That's a great question. So it really started back when I was like 16 years old. Around 16 years old, I started a clothing brand, Illegal Ambitions. And it pretty much meant it is illegal to have as much ambition as me, okay? Started that, and then at the time I didn't have all this hair. I had a shortcut, and I had a barber. My barber was like, listen, Jaida, let me connect you with my mentors. I said, bet, who are your mentors? He said, I want to connect you with David Shands. I said, okay. Then I got in David Shands' group. David Shands saw that I was making a difference, and the people in his organization saw that I was making a difference. So guess what happened then? Somebody said, you know what? Let me give you a free ticket to Eric Thomas's, his mastermind event. At the time, Jared, that ticket was like $5,000. I was 17 years old. I could not afford that, okay? So I got that. After that, man, I actually started speaking inside my own high school, and I started wanting to just help people that didn't have the answers or the mindset that I had at the time. And then, of course, just like with anything you continue doing, it just started to mature and mature until it got to where it is now, where I'm pretty much just I help people get to that bag, man. I help them get to that bag, for sure.
That's a great tagline.
Yes.
It really is. So you help people make at least six figures,
Yes.
at least. And what would you say is one of the main things that people get wrong?
Believe it or not, it's definitely not skill set. A lot of times it is mindset, which is one of the reasons why I say that I build a bridge between your confidence and your skill set so that you can actually get a career that is paying you six figures and up.
Okay.
It's the confidence and it's the mindset. A lot of people, they speak about themselves as if they are just task doers. They speak about themselves as if, hey, yep, I just help Jared do blah, 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 blah. When it's like, actually, no, a lot of people are leading strategic initiatives to decrease or increase, to increase ROIs or to decrease risk. But what are they saying? Yeah, I just help my team with risk and stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're doing so much more than that. So I would say that that's the biggest thing I see. It's that language. They got to have a language shift, but to have a language shift, they got to have a mindset shift.
Okay, so it all starts in their mind, and then the way that it's coming out of their mouth is unclear, so they're not getting clear results.
100%. It's not coming out clear, and it's not coming out valuable enough. A lot of people know how to talk, but a lot of people don't know how to bring value with the words that are coming out of their mouth. And with our words, we can say anything. But at the end of the day, the way you say something is what makes it valuable or what just makes it average. Yeah.
As a public speaker, I can say that is absolutely true.
100%.
You can have amazing information, but you can say it the wrong way.
Yep.
And it can turn an audience away from you.
I know a young lady. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to say young lady. She's one of my best friends. 2 master's degrees. Also a CPA. When we met, her job in corporate America was paying her $80,000. You got 2 master's degrees?
Did she think that was good?
No.
Okay, so she was aware.
She was aware because that's one of the first steps. You got to be aware.
I know. Sometimes I meet some people that
They're not really
like, well, I
aware.
make $80K a year. It's like, dude,
And we're like, oh,
how do you survive? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I would probably be eating ramen noodles and I don't know what I'd be doing. But no, man, when we started talking, I was like, why are you making $80,000 a year? Because I help people with have never even been to a college class make $120,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. So I had to kind of help her really position herself so that she could see the actual value that she brings to an organization. And now she's making $180,000 a year.
Okay.
And that just comes with positioning.
How did you start thinking about money this way? How did you start thinking that $100K is not that much? Like, Where did that come from? Was that how you were raised?
Not at all. Definitely not how I was raised. I come from a regular family, okay? You know, it wasn't really anybody around talking about six figures or anything like that at the time. I think my granddad was the only person I knew that was making six figures, and you wouldn't know it. He's a country guy. He just drives around his old pickup truck, you know? But nah, man, believe it or not, that's been my mindset for a lot of my life. You know, I was growing up telling my grandmother, like, you know, I'm going to be rich one day. And she was like, all right, baby. I was like, okay. But I think that what makes the biggest shift in understanding, like, dang, I need to make this amount of money, bro, I started writing down the life I wanted to live. Okay. And when I started writing down the life I wanted to live, I started to see, I think I'm going to need a little bit more. You know, I couldn't, I try not to put limits on myself. Yeah. And instead of just writing down a life I knew I could have, I genuinely just wrote down what I wanted. Like, this is what I want. I wrote it down. I said, well, that's how much it's going to cost. Okay, I should probably make that much money.
Was that overwhelming at first?
Yes.
Right. How did you break that down into action steps to actually do it?
So it is overwhelming. Let's start there. It is overwhelming. I don't want to make it seem like that's something that somebody can just do and they'll have all the answers tomorrow, because you won't. You won't have them. But the fact of the matter is that after you write down what you desire, the next step is saying, okay, who do I know that can help me get there? There we go. Yeah. It's about the who, not really the how. So for me, at a young age, I realized, okay, look, if I know that I want to learn how to bake a cake, I'm probably going to be better off going and working with somebody who knows how to bake a cake so they can teach me how to bake a cake. I don't feel like getting on YouTube and making 100 mistakes and baking a cake, and now I bring a cake to your baby shower and the cake falls because I didn't know what I was doing. I could have just went to somebody that can bake a cake. I could have paid them $150 and they could have showed me how to bake you the perfect cake. Would you like the perfect cake or you want a falling cake? Which one do you want, Jared?
Hey, look, I want the perfect cake.
You want the perfect cake. Yeah. So the first step is finding somebody who can show you how to get there because they've done it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, from what I've seen, they say, well, I don't know anybody, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. For me, I had internet mentors before I had the real life ones. Yeah. So I got on the internet and I figured out, okay, well, who knows how to do this? Who knows how to do that? I started off in entrepreneurship. I've owned an insurance company. I've owned a home inspection company. I've owned a marketing agency. I've owned a clothing brand. I've done everything. But it all started with finding people on the internet who are already doing it. So if I could just give people 2 steps, those are the only 2 steps you need. Figure out what you want to do and then find somebody who's doing it.
We live in the age of information.
Yep.
So anybody can go on YouTube and find a video, like you said, about how to bake a cake and make 100 mistakes. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're going to learn. It's going to take a little bit of time, but they'll eventually get it for sure. But also, like, you could skip that whole line by just investing in mentorship is what it sounds like.
Yes, that is exactly my thoughts.
Mentorship has taken me 10 levels into the future by just one purchase, just by one, hey, look, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars. I need you to show me how you did what you did. Yep. If you know somebody that does the thing that you want to do, make them an offer.
Make them an offer.
I mean, because you think it's going to be expensive, but really what is expensive is waiting. What's expensive is failing 30 more times, starting over 30 more times, when this person clearly has the result that you want.
Absolutely. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was talking to her about time compression. And she was like, time compression? Like, what you mean? And I said, I'm willing to invest in mentorship because I want to compress my time. Yeah. I have a limited amount of time on this earth.
And you don't even know how much time you have. That's the craziest part.
That's the crazy. So that means you need to hurry up.
People will literally tell me that they'll come back when they're ready. It may be a year or two. Like they'll say a year or two. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's
a lot of time.
But you would think that these people lack confidence, right, in themselves. But the confidence that they have that this opportunity is still going to be around in a year or two is crazy to me. It's like if you could take that confidence and put it in yourself, that would be, you see what I'm saying?
Look, I was watching a podcast yesterday, and you heard of the book 10X is better than 2X?
Yeah.
So this podcast episode just came out yesterday, and I finished it yesterday. So in there, he said, the reason that 10X is actually better than 2X is because your past self, or no, he said your present self determines your future self. And he said, your future self determines your past self. I said, what?
Yeah, break that down to me.
It threw me for a loop. So your future self determines your past self, because you should be setting goals as if you are already your future self, because your brain is going to create pathways to get you there. Mm-hmm. So if your company right now, let's say your company is at $100,000 a year. Okay, great. Say to yourself, hey, look, I want to get to $10 million in the next 2 years. What is your brain going to do? Your brain is going to start to create pathways on how you can get to $10 million. Mm-hmm. Versus, I want to get from 100K to 200K. You can get to 200K doing exactly what you're doing right now. Just throw some ad spend and boom, you'll be at 200K. But you have to give yourself bigger goals that do not align with where you are right now. Because at some point, who you are right now, that's going to be your past self. But what do a lot of us do? We look at our past and we allow our past to determine our current decisions. You should really allow your future to determine your current decisions.
That's really good.
If you want to be in shape at 40, you need to start working out now.
Yeah.
If you want to be the best father ever in 2 years, you need to get connected to amazing fathers now. A lot of people, they try to go get the confidence before they get the commitment, when you should be getting the commitment so you can grow the confidence.
Right. Where do you think confidence comes from? What do you think confidence comes from?
Confidence comes from making a decision and doing what you said you're going to do.
Okay, so action, follow through.
That's it. Do what you said you're going to do. People that have low confidence are typically people who don't do what they said they're going to do. People who have confidence are typically people who do what they said they're going to do because they kept doing what they said they were going to do over a long enough period of time to prove to themselves that they could do it. How can you lack confidence in something you do all the time? You can't. You can't.
Yeah. In a way, you could also be confident that you're going to let yourself down if you keep letting yourself down.
100%. Because you end up wiring your brain to expect failure, to expect that you're not going to do what you said you were going to do. Yeah. So why would anybody else have confidence in you? You don't even believe you're going to do what you said you're going to do. Why do they need to believe you're going to do it?
Exactly. I tell the kids, action is evidence that you have what it takes to be the person you say you want to be. And then maybe over time, those actions become your identity. Mm-hmm. Explain, what does identity mean to you?
When I think about identity, to me, that is identify. Mm-hmm. Your identity is who you identify yourself as. And the way that somebody can create their identity is by creating standards in their life of what they're going to live by, and then that typically is going to shape their identity. So when you meet that person who is 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and they're in shape, they're strong, healthy diet, fitness, all those things, that typically is directly tied into their identity because they identify as a strong, in shape, fit, healthy person. So for me, I think identity has everything to do with who you identify yourself as based on the standards that you have set for yourself in your life.
So when you're working with people, where do you see their identity coming from? Is it coming from their childhood, what their parents said about them? Is it coming from their peers, the people they're surrounding themselves with? Is it coming from their own insecurities?
Their own insecurities. A lot of times, that's where I see people's identity come from. And of course, those insecurities were planted in their mind from their childhood. Mm-hmm. And then after childhood, it was planted in their mind by the different experience that they had as they were growing up through teenagehood, through young adulthood and stuff like that. So that's where I see it.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people watching this that are like, they feel seen. They feel like, that's me. Mm-hmm. And so where would they start? How could they start to completely reshape their identity to build confidence?
They're going to think this is cliche, but this is really the truth. I think that they should start off reading Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
They should start there. The reason I say that is because, man, that book was so pivotal in changing my life. Like, it changed the way that I approach everything.
Yeah.
They should start there because that is an amazing kickstart into changing your identity, building your confidence, just all the things. That's a great start. I think they should start right there. Read that book, and then once you're done, then come talk to me. I don't want to talk to you before you finished it.
Well, because that book's about reprogramming your subconscious, basically.
Bingo.
So a lot of people are making conscious decisions.
Yep.
they think they're making decisions.
That's what they think.
But their subconscious is really in control.
Facts.
Between the age 1 and 7, your brain is in what's called theta mode. Mm-hmm. Your brain waves are slower, and your subconscious is wide open, and the neuroplasticity in your brain is very moldable.
Yep.
So this is why we say that kids are like sponges. They
Yep.
soak in all information. And so they're programmed between age 1 and 7. After that, the brain starts to harden a little bit over time, all the way up until about 28. It's pretty hard and programmed at that point. And if you haven't changed by then, it's going to be really hard for you to change. It's not impossible, but it's very hard. It takes about 120 days of consistently doing something over and over and over again to build new neural pathways and habits and reprogram your brain. And so a lot of people 30 years and older are actually making decisions based on the 7-year-old version of themselves and how that child responded to traumatic experiences. That's how they're responding today. They don't know it. They won't admit it. But deep down, it's the inner child in them that's making these decisions. That's the way that they're responding.
Yes.
Right. And so that's where the insecurities are coming up. And they're still an insecure 7-year-old on the inside.
Yep.
But also, like, the other side of that is there's still a 7-year-old that has all these dreams and has all these delusionally optimistic ideas that they want to accomplish. The problem is if their adult self is not doing those things, they have the guilt and the shame of not following through with their dreams, which is really like their purpose. Talk to a 7-year-old, talk to a little kid. I got a couple of little kids myself. You know, you talk to them, they're pretty clear about what they love to do, what they want to do in life, way more than an 18-year-old.
Jaden knows he wants to be a YouTuber.
Yeah,
You cannot tell him anything
my son,
else.
He'll tell you, I'm going to be the best builder God's ever seen. That's what he says. He loves to build things. So, like, that's it. He knows it right now.
Yeah.
You know, life goes on and people have all these failures and negative emotions attached that clouds their vision. They forget who they are, who they were meant to be.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you know, it changes. You have the guilt and the shame that stops you from being able to see a future version of yourself.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, and then confidence just goes out the window.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, if you take action and you become competent at something,
Yes.
right, you're saying it builds confidence.
Yes.
So what's the difference between confidence and competence?
The difference between confidence and competence is the fact that there's a such thing as unconscious incompetence. So when I look at competence, I know that there's 4 or 5 levels to competence. When Jared first exposes me to something I've never heard of, first I have unconscious incompetence. Okay? You start to teach me things a little bit. Then I get conscious incompetence. And then I keep on listening to you for a while. Now I'm learning. Now it's like, now I have conscious competence. And then at the very end, it's like, yeah, I'm totally competent in this. And now I have confidence in it. So building confidence is a process. Confident people don't just wake up in the morning and all of a sudden they're confident. Yeah. Like, no, they had to go through a process to become confident. They had to learn how to become confident. They had to fail to become confident. They had to do a lot to become confident. But confidence and competence, they go hand in hand. But most times with both of them, those are built through actually doing the work. Yeah. In whatever capacity that is for you. You can't be confident in something you've never done unless you're, kind of delusional like me.
I think you have to be.
Yeah.
I think you have to be kind of delusional to do something that people around you have never done before.
Absolutely.
Be the first one in your family to do something.
Yes.
Like, you have to be delusional. Nobody's going to be able to see it for you. You know, some people, they may believe in you that your ability to do this, like, if anybody's going to do it, she's going to do it. I'm pretty sure that's, the people around you and your family.
For sure.
I don't know how you're going to do it. I couldn't
I just know you're going to do it.
But if anybody could, it's probably
you. Can do it.
Right? And so that feels good. But at the end of the day, if you don't have that belief in yourself, it's still not going to happen.
Yeah, 100%. But see, I know I'm delusional. I don't care. And the only people I talk to that are delusional is like you.
Yeah.
And your wife and a few other people that we know. So, yeah.
At the end of the day, I always say this, but entrepreneurship is like falling from the sky, building a plane on the way down.
Every time.
It really is. And there's no way escaping that feeling of risk that comes with this. Okay. Look, you are going to fail.
You're going to fail more times than you succeed.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is that it only takes one big win.
That's it, man. It takes one big win.
I was thinking about it on the drive here. I was just going over, all the would've, could'ves, and should'ves. Like those always pop up, like just randomly, usually on drives, because I'm focused, I'm on the road, I'm driving. And I start thinking about like, man, if I would have done this at this time or invested in this at this age, or if I would have done, you see the memes where they're like, look, picture of me when I was 8 years old. I should have been investing in Bitcoin.
No facts. like, bro, literally, I'm still mad that my mother had me way too late. Like, I'm mad.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I look back, there was times, 2016, 2017, where, I owned, several Bitcoins at the time. I was in my early 20s, but I was broke in LA. So when it went up, I sold because I needed the money. I needed the money for rent. I had a new baby boy at the time. Jaden was only 2 years old, So it's like my mindset at that time was survival.
Facts.
I was just trying to survive, not thrive. I was not thinking about future self. So I wasn't making decisions that put future self in them today.
Yeah, facts.
Because you just couldn't see it.
Facts.
I felt invisible.
Yep.
I felt like nobody saw me. I couldn't even see my own potential. So what do you say to somebody that might be in that stage of life where they just feel invisible?
That is a very valid stage. And I think a lot of the, successful people that we see nowadays have dealt with that same exact issue, because that's truly a part of the process.
Yeah.
And if they're looking to go from invisible to the visible, I hate to say it, but I have to go back to them starting with reading Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
Because that is literally going to help them figure out who they want to be. It's going to teach them how to write down goals. It's going to teach them what a goal is. It's going to teach them, how do I get this goal in my mind? It's going to teach them how to build the habits around the goal. It's going to teach them the steps to take to hit the goal. It teaches them everything. A lot of times we end up creating invisibility because we don't know what we want anyways. A lot of people, they're creating their own invisibility.
Yep.
They could have been visible to themselves, but they don't have the appropriate amount of faith to become visible to themselves.
Yeah. If it's possible without God, it's not big enough.
It's not big enough. It's not big enough. If you know how to do it, it's not big enough.
Yeah.
Bro, I know how to build a $100,000 company. That's how I know that's not big enough.
Yeah.
I know how to make $100K. That's easy. That's not big enough.
Really, when I think of something or I have an idea that I know is going to be really hard, I rejoice.
Yep.
Because all that means is that a lot of people are not going to do it.
100%.
It's going to be really hard. Okay, that means I don't have that much competition.
When you think of something and there's a high likelihood of failure, it's like, yeah, you should probably do that. Because that means that's the road less traveled.
Yeah.
So when you're on that road less traveled, you typically meet people on the road that also like the road less traveled. And before you know it, you done met 5, 6, 10 people who are traveling on this same road, and now y'all are able to share ideas. Y'all are able to grow together. They're able to help you in ways. You're able to help them in ways. So, man, I'm for that every time.
I think the quickest way to make something visible is to write it down.
Facts.
To bring it into this world physically.
Yes. Because it talks about that in The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
I think I have. This is going to be cool.
You got the card in your wallet.
I think I got my card in my wallet.
Bro, listen, somebody stole my wallet out of my car when my car got broken into the other day. In that wallet, I had my Think and Grow Rich little card in there where I wrote down my goal. Let me see. Let me see what you got, man. Let me see it. Oh, you got it on a sticky. Oh, this is real.
I was in a Courtyard Marriott.
This is real. Happy marriage, happy kids, 1 million lives saved, $100 million deal, top 100 song on charts, role in a major movie, multi-million-dollar dream home, long, healthy life of joy. Bro, this
Those are big, right?
This is what it's all about. And you know what's crazy? I bet you didn't know how to do any of these things.
No, never. That is at least 8 years old.
How old were you when you got married?
In 2019, so I don't know how old I was, 22.
What does a 22-year-old know about building a happy, healthy marriage? What
Nothing.
does a 22-year-old know about
My parents
having?
were never even married.
See? Exactly. So you did know how to do that. I can only imagine, like, some of the grief, the pain, the arguments, and different things that you and Kenzie went through just because y'all were both trying to figure out what healthy looked like.
Right.
Like, and I know it wasn't easy.
No,
now y'all
is.
are amazing. You know what I'm saying? There's probably so many things y'all barely argue about now, but I I know that back in 2019, I know it was hard.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Didn't know how to be a dad. You know, didn't know how to
Didn't
be
know
a
how to do nothing
husband.
right. Didn't know how to be
You
a
know?
husband.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to do anything right.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do anything. The only thing, you know, at that time, the only thing that I did know how to do actually was believe delusionally in myself.
Yep, that's
You
it.
know, because everything that I'd gotten up to that point, you know, even being 22 years old, traveling, you know, 80 plus schools a year, speaking all over the country. I was a shy kid growing up, so even that was so crazy.
Yeah.
I was the least likely person to become this person, and
Yeah.
now I'm this person. So I think that's what made me even believe in those type of dreams. Was just like
100%.
I was a kid that couldn't even look the waiter in the eyes to order my food at restaurants. Now I'm speaking on stage in front of thousands of people. Like maybe anything's possible. 'Cause
Absolutely.
This was for sure not
Yes.
in my future vision for
Yes.
myself. You know.
So check this out. Beginning of 2024. Well, December 2023, every end of the year, New Year's Eve, I spend time with myself the entire day, like not talking to nobody or anything. And I write down like what I want to do that year. 2023 December, I did it. I said, well, you know, I want to travel somewhere every single month. And I put some different, you know, locations I want to travel to. I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't look at it or anything. Well, I ended up doing some networking here in Dallas. I met somebody named Roxy. Okay. I met Roxy through somebody named Rashad, who does speaking and stuff similar to what we do. I'm like, bet, you know, he invited me to this random soccer game, meet Roxy, exchange numbers with Roxy. At the time, that's when I started hosting my game nights a few weeks later. I said, Roxy, you should come to one of my game nights. I would love to have you. Jared, Roxy doesn't come for 3 months. One day she randomly hits me up. Hey, I'm going to be moving to Thailand soon, so I just wanted to come to your game night so I could, you know, hang with you. I said, okay, bet. She comes. She says, you ever thought about coming to Thailand? I was like, nah, not really. A month later, she says, hey, can you get on a plane with my son to come to Thailand? I'll pay for your plane ticket, but I just want you to bring my son to Thailand. I said, heck yeah, I'll do it. Jared, you asked me to do something with SpeakHYVE.
Yeah.
And I keep everything in my Notion. So I'm going on there, I'm looking through it, and I see my plan for where I wanted to travel. Yeah. Guess what the first destination said? Thailand.
Yeah.
I said, what the heck? Thailand? I said, you know what? I don't care what happens with this plan. I'm going to Thailand. Boom. She canceled what she wanted to do with her son, but I still booked my flight to Thailand. And I went to Thailand, and I was there for 2 whole weeks. And you know what else happened that year? Not only did I travel once every single month, I traveled multiple times, most of the months, every single month of 2024. You know what else I did in 2024? I made more money than I made in 2023 and 2022. Everything I had wrote down or what I planned to do in 2023, it happened. And I didn't even go back and look at what I wrote down until 7, 8 months later. So that just goes to show, when you write it down and when you just stay focused on who you naturally are, the things are just going to come to you anyways. Yeah. So you might as well just write down big things because they're going to happen. So you need to write them down.
Yeah, and because it's all in alignment with who you are supposed to be.
Yep, 100%.
And that's a method of yours that you have.
Every day. Okay. Absolutely.
Can you tell us about that? Tell us about what alignment means to you.
When I think about alignment, everything goes back down to my North Star. And your North Star is, what do you want out of your life? Like what is, when you think about your life and what you want to have accomplished at the very end, what do you think, what do you want out of your life? And what are some regrets that you do not want to happen? So I write down the regrets first. You know, like for instance, my real deal North Star is, I will regret if I'm not able to live a long, healthy life and fully support my family and my children so they can have opportunities they've never seen before. That's my North Star. Like, well, that's not my North Star, but that's my regret. If I don't do that, I'm going to be pissed. So my actual North Star is, I am determined to stay as focused as I can so that I can hit insert goal below. And that's how I kind of started. From that point, I focus on my 3 lenses, which for me is my personal life, my business life, my fitness, and then my professional life. And I keep that out, and I make sure everything aligns with that North Star. So that's how I go about doing it as far as alignment. I only do things that align with me, and I think about my life in 10-year periods. So that also helps cut down on the minutia of always, because, we get new opportunities. People bring opportunities to us all the time, but you can't accept everything. So since I think about my life in like decade periods, it helps me put a lot of stuff to the side, whether it's people that want to date me, whether it's people I want to date, whether it is, the food that I want to eat, or even the financial decisions I make. Everything goes back to, does this align with my North Star? And does this align with my 10-year goal that I have for myself? And I'm not going to lie, it's hard to deny a lot of things because I'm brought a lot of things, but if it doesn't align, I'm not doing it.
Not even just things, but also people.
Also people, 100%. I don't surround myself with any friends who don't have big goals. I'm extremely unapologetic about that. If you don't have big goals, we don't have a friendship because we have nothing to discuss.
Yeah.
Like, I can be valuable to you, but you cannot be valuable to me. So we can't be friends. And what is valuable to me is mentally stimulating conversation, knowing that if I come to you, you can help me achieve something. If you come to me, I can help you achieve something. So it's real strict over here because my goals are really serious and they take a lot of energy out of me. So I can't play any games as if they're not serious. I have to be this serious or I'm not going to hit my goals.
So we've dumped a lot on people.
We have.
Today.
I hope they got some value.
So, yeah, lots of value. Somebody that's listening that feels stuck and they feel underpaid, but they want to be in a better place.
Yeah.
When this episode is over and they get up from the couch, what's the first thing that they should do?
If they want to connect with me, the first thing they should do is shoot me a DM on Instagram. I respond to every DM I receive. And if I didn't respond to your DM, that means that Instagram was being weird and it never showed me your message. So the first step, literally DM me on Instagram. My Instagram name is IAMJAIDASTEELE. DM me, tell me what's going on, tell me what you need help with, and I'm going to lead you in the right direction in any way I can. I don't care if that's sending you resources, sending you books, allowing you to come into my free community, my paid community, work with me one-on-one. It doesn't matter. Whatever we see as the best solution for you, I'm going to give it to you. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on today. I appreciate you.
Anytime,
we'll
man.
We'll definitely have to do it again.
For sure. Let's do it.